Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 18th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give in to our obsessing, and today we're obsessing about kitchen gadgets that we didn't know we needed, and probably we don't actually need them. So HuffPost had a list of a bunch of things that they deemed urgently, necessary for purchase. And also Nicole and I both live with a person who never met a kitchen gadget they didn't desperately need. So this was quite an interesting list. I mean, some of the things on it I thought were interesting, like these silicone stretch lids that you can put on your Tupperware so that when you have a base that lost its lid, which we all know that happens all the time. These are like stretchy, so you can make them fit on different things. So that sounds like a good plan to me because the aforementioned person in my home who is obsessed with kitchen gadgets is also obsessed with wrapping and covering things when they go in the fridge.
Are they the same person? I swear to goodness.
This is handed down from his mother.
Oh my goodness.
Anything, just the other day, he put something in a glass container to put some leftovers. This glass container has a lid. He couldn't be bothered to find it. Instead, it had wax paper, plastic wrap, and foil. And this is the usual practice. We've got to have all those things.
Want to keep out that refrigerator taste from getting to it.
I guess. But anyway, I feel that these silicone stretch things could solve that problem. But
it could.
Then we have more stuff. Oh, I don't know. The other thing that was on this list was an over-the-sink dish rack. So it's like an upside-down U-shaped dish rack that spans your entire sink. It's gigantic. Like, we will have the link in the show notes so that you can look at this thing. It is, I don't know why anyone would ever want this thing.
I feel like I've had something like that before, but it wasn't humongous. It was maybe
like a little plastic
sized.
one?
Yeah. It was the sort of thing you have when you have no counter space.
Yeah.
And so you suspend it over the sink.
I mean, I've seen it where they're, like, if you have a double sink and you put it in one side or whatever. But this, I feel like it'd be right at eye level when you're looking at the sink. I don't know. So, I don't know. What do you have that is essential that would surprise someone?
Well, can we backtrack for a moment? These silicone stretch lids, would those go over like regular bowls? What we need is something because we have a lot of leftovers and we wrap them up and then we have it the next day for breakfast and lunch. But lately, plastic wrap has been our mortal enemy. Something has gone on in the plastic wrap manufacturers. Some sadist has taken them over. So you can't find the start, and when you do, you can't unwrap it straight, and when you cut something off, then they go... It's been like every time we try to use plastic wrap, it's a struggle. I would like something that I could just bloop, put it over, not deal with it all. Yeah. You can even let in a little bit of refrigerator flavor. I don't care, as long as I don't have to handle the plastic wrap.
Well,
it is nasty.
We also have, I call them shower caps, like little plastic things with stretchy edges that you can use for
That's
food.
What I want.
That's what you need.
I don't know if we have those here. I'll have to tell my husband to check. Because he's, had it up to here with the plastic wrap, too.
The only thing is that they're not necessarily super tight, depending on the size of the container that you're putting them on. Well, so in my house, they may be supplemented with other packaging and wrapping.
And I had to laugh. I saw here on the list a spice cabinet organizer.
Yeah.
We have on our kitchen counter a rotating spice thing You know, it's like got the little spice bottles, special spice bottles in them, and you rotate it to get to the one you want. And I remember when I was getting married 30-some years ago, how excited I was to have that item. And that was so cool, and that is like such a homey thing, and that's like a grown-up kitchen item, and I had all the spices, and I labeled the bottles, and I put stuff in them. It was so exciting, and the same stuff is still in them because we never, ever use it. Finally, my husband said the other day, can we get rid of this? These things are ancient. I wouldn't want to put them in anything, and it just takes up space. And I said, yes, I have come to that. To that level of calm acceptance that I realize I am never going to be that person with a spice spinner.
Yes.
I am going to be that person whose husband has a industrial size Montreal spice seasoning and just puts it on everything.
I'm almost going to be that way. I love that stuff now. But interestingly enough, I do have that spice rack. And I would actually give it 5 stars because it's surprisingly handy. However, my biggest complaint with it is that the little shelf that the spices sit on is far too thin, so all the spices just topple over.
Oh, well, that seems like a fatal flaw.
It is. Because what happens is then it creates all this space, like, in the little U that it makes, you know? Like, you can put stuff in there. So you get, like, way more storage going on. But the problem then is that everything just falls down on top of it, and it's a big mess. So they need to get their act together.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like 5 stars.
No.
I'm thinking, like, 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah, with the cupboard where we have our spices, that would not fit.
No.
But actually, when my husband was laid off a while ago, he purchased this spice organizer thing, which is smaller than that. And it involves, it's kind of like a wine rack. You know how the wines are like horizontal, the bottles are horizontal? It's like that with jars for the spices, and then the lids are labeled with the names.
Yes, that's the way my spinner is.
Yes. So that's what we have, and that's all that fits in that cabinet, and it's still, everything is, the door doesn't quite close on the cabinet. But that one that's mentioned in the article would never fit in that particular cabinet. We put
ours in our pantry, so that kind of gave us some more space, but still, it's not for American-sized spice jars. That's what I'm saying.
This is the problem with a lot of these kitchen things, is that they seem really good. The idea behind them is really good. They look pretty in pictures. And then you bring them home and they just somehow don't fit your space. And then they're a disaster. I have one of those things like a coffee pod organizer. It's like got a flat top, and you pull out the little drawer, and it's got the rows for the coffee pods. And I have it in a cabinet, which would be just perfect, except I think the shelf that it's on doesn't go all the way to the end. And so the back of the coffee thing hooks onto something, and then you can't pull the drawer out. So every time I want to get, and I have stuff on top of it. So every time I want to get coffee, I'm yanking the thing. All the cups on top of it are rattling. I have to finally pick it up, move it forward, pull it out. I'm like, why does this not work perfectly? It's so frustrating because it should be the best thing in the world. Look how nice. Just so easily.
Well, it's
just
like
slide it open.
There's certain circumstances where these things work, and then there's and you don't realize until you've gotten it home
exactly
and installed it. The sink thing, I know. I'm opposed to the sink thing. They also have an under the sink cabinet organizer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
But that's where my garbage can is, so that doesn't work for me.
I think we have various organizing modules underneath the sink. Not a full-scale organizer. I think my mom might have had one of those organizers. It seems like a good space to put it. We do not have our garbage there. We have many, many, many bottles of things of a cleaning nature that we put there and then forget that we have. So,
speaking of garbage, I
which most of this stuff is.
Yeah.
We bought a garbage can 2 years ago right now, and I am just blown away by how awesome it is.
Wow. Did not know that was a thing that could happen with a garbage can.
Tell us about your awesome garbage can.
The features of this garbage can include, so it's a recycling on the left. It's got a blue recycling bin on the left, and then it's got the garbage bin on the right. So it's like one unit, but it's divided in half, so you can recycle and then have your garbage. And it's tall, so you can get a lot of garbage in there because it's very deep. The containers are very deep, so that's a bonus. And on the garbage side, it has a little hole where you can get like a pack of garbage bags. Like you have to order it online. You can get it on Amazon, but you get a pack of garbage bags that fit that garbage bin. You put the pack in this little hole at the back, and then you just pull the bags out of this little hole. So as you need them. So it's just like all right there. It's all in one thing. And then it's got like the foot lever that you can press, and then the lid comes up, and the lid is heavy enough that my dog does not open it. So that was
important feature.
That was what sealed the deal. That my dog cannot open it. So yes, I love it. It's
cool.
It's a great, yeah.
That's
See,
exciting.
it's just those little things. You're like, oh yeah, like once you try it out, you can't go back. Like I'm not ever going to go back to a regular garbage can. Like this is it. This is the Cadillac of garbage cans. I'm living the dream.
Yeah, this is why when we had our kitchen done, I had a special cabinet built for the recycling bin, and I had a special cabinet built for the laundry hamper.
Yes,
but now we're married to the size of the hamper and the garbage and the recycling.
But see, then like one day you may not need that. You'll be happy with that size because it'll just be the two of you. Right? I keep telling myself,
someday
we should get it bigger. Get it, something bigger, more versatile. And then my husband's like, wait, we probably don't need that.
Well, I would say that of the sort of single-use gadgety things, my apple slicer is important to me.
Yeah.
Where you press it down on the apple and you get your whole apple cut at once.
I still gotta try one of those. I always mean to.
Love it. Love it.
Wow.
You'll have to get your chef, your room service providers to. They might enjoy it because don't they cut your fruit for you?
They do, but see, I got a strawberry huller at one point, and I was enjoying using it. But now that I have my lunch made for me by the gentleman of the house, they do not truck with such things, so they just cut them normally with a knife, and that's absolutely fine. I'll take it any old way somebody else wants to do it for me. That's okay.
Right.
But probably I could have for a snack. I could cut myself an apple if it would be that easy to do.
I know, that's the thing. Like, since I'm not the primary chef, I feel bad complaining about the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still do. Because it's really... Because we don't have room for it all. Just...
Yeah.
I know.
It's overflowing, and that drives me crazy.
Well, maybe one kitchen essential we all should not do without is some way to blast our podcast while you're in the kitchen working.
Of course.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
So that's it for today's round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.